Hello, my dear tigresses. Today we're going to talk about something really, really cool. You know how sometimes you feel blah? Like, my hair is blah, my clothes is blah, my attitude is blah. Well, I got somebody who will help you unblah yourself. My new friend, Diana Epstein. Hello, Diana.
Hello, it's been wonderful getting to know you, and I am so excited to be on this podcast today.
Yes, let's get unblah. For you and this podcast, I was like, oh, what do I do today with my hair? Shall I mess it up? Shall I do whatever? And I remember every show I do, I never have anything on my hair. So unblah I go.
The hat is cute, and I think that it's something that a lot of people don't try. In fact, a lot of people love to say, I can't wear hats. And I'm like, do you not have a head? Of course you can wear a hat.
Mhm.
It's just something that you do with your hair and the hat, or the things around it that make it change. And I really should do an entire episode on hats. But yeah,
That's
hats
a
are
good
cute. I
idea.
love them. I
Yes,
love them.
tell us. You started this whole Unblah Yourself YouTube channel. And I was so fascinated just with the fact that you got such cool name, almost touching everybody's inner desire to unblock themselves physically or inside, or maybe they look like a goddess, but they don't have nothing to talk about. But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
anything
true.
about anything, right?
But thank you for noticing that. And I feel like I didn't even really come up with that name because it really came from so many women over and over again. Now, I will say that before I did this, I had a business that required a waiting room. And I was often in the waiting room, and there was always a lot of moms there. And they're always saying the same thing. If I gave them enough time to just talk, they would always be like, I just feel so blah. I just feel blah, and I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know what to do next. I'm just blah. And I just kept hearing this word over and over again. And when it came time to, because everyone say, oh, you feel like my therapist. I feel like I should pay you for therapy because I always had advice for them, which I don't really know where it came from, but I realized I was giving out a lot of advice for free. And it was fun. But when I started this channel, it was almost the most natural thing to say, well, I'm going to help you unblaw yourself.
Mhm. So when you talk about unblah, what aspect of being blah women mostly complain about and you help them the most?
Um, I think it starts with I don't know what to do next. I haven't done anything interesting in years. I've only poured myself into my children and their schooling.
There
But
you go.
underneath that is I have only worn jeans and a t-shirt for about 12 years.
Yeah. And when this
And
tigress time comes that you don't want to jump through hoops for everyone anymore, you are afraid of the jungle. How does jungle feel? I don't know. My back can't feel the rawness.
yeah, you have no idea. You've never been here before. You've never been this old before, and you've never been this young before either. I mean, if you think about it. But you've just never been here. So you don't know anything about it. And there's not a whole lot of guidance for it either. I mean, if you think about it, there's a whole lot of guidance on like how to do your makeup and how to look hot when you're 20. And then there's a lot of information on menopause. But what about that area in between? Like there's a lot that happens between a hot 20-year-old and menopause.
Mhm. In the mind, in the body, in style. So,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
which is your favorite aspect to introduce people to start with? When a woman says, "I feel blah," and you
Mm,
know she didn't do anything, she dresses jeans and t-shirt. Where to start with her?
the first thing is, are you feeding yourself well with nutritious foods and are you getting sleep? Because there's no amount of makeup that can cover just eating chicken nuggets. If you're eating your kids' leftover chicken nuggets and then you're having a half a pint of ice cream and then going to sleep after your 10 favorite shows, there's no amount of makeup or outfits that's going to make you look and feel awesome.
Wow.
So, you got to start with your health. And of course, a lot of people um, have things like chronic diseases, autoimmune diseases, and it can only be helped with proper diet. I'm not saying you can solve it, but they will often take offense like, well, I'm always in pain, so how can I be stylish? And it's like, okay, there are exceptions, but you still can feed yourself the very best food and you can try to get sleep. It does so much for you. So you can start
Unblock your
there.
food.
You got to unblaw your insides
Yeah.
really first. And then if you're just wearing jeans and a t-shirt, then you can start adding more fun accessories. You don't have to get out of your jeans and t-shirt. In fact, I have an entire video on how to unblaw your jeans and tank top. So you don't have to completely change everything. You just have to add some fun things that show your personality and start to become your next self. Because as you know, you're a different person between 20, 30, 40. And it's almost like at each stage, there's a self death, and you have to mourn what you lost, but you also have to move on to, but what's exciting coming up.
And celebrate
And
new creation. What
yeah,
am
and a lot of people are stuck looking backwards and on what they lost, and they're missing out on all this wonderful stuff that's ahead.
Mhm.
And that was unfortunate to me. So I kind of wanted to be a role model for people. Like, there's still so much fun to be had. If you've lost your sense of self, that is normal, and you have to create a new sense of self. You have to grow into someone else, and let yourself be sad, but you have to move on. There's a whole different person coming, and she's great. She can be great, right?
If you unblah the current you, the next you will not be blah,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
That's true. And another thing that you might want to unblah about yourself is that, if you're just consuming TV shows, that might not make you a more interesting person, unless you're in a crowd where everybody just watches TV and wants to talk about it. But there's so much learning that you can do these days. What a wonderful time to be alive in that aspect. You can learn anything you want, mostly through YouTube, and you can totally change your life through what you learn. And you can even just learn things that make you interesting at a party. Just learn a couple of really interesting historical facts. Whip them out at a party. Be the most fascinating person this person has ever met because you had some weird stories to tell, you know?
Yeah.
So it really does start with the inside.
Okay, so I wear jeans and t-shirts. I eat chicken nuggets, wear jeans and t-shirts, and watch TV shows. Now I want to go to some party and be interesting, and I have no idea how to do it. I feel that my life is okay until I go to some party. Then I realize I'm really blah.
Yeah. Well, you know what my number one piece of advice is, and it's really weird. Read a what's not called an episode. What's it called? A magazine. Well, you read an issue of National Geographic.
Oh,
National Geographic will open your eyes to the rest of the world, not in a news way, but in a people way, about how other people are living, what it's like under the ocean. There's all sorts of little articles in there that are fascinating. They're fascinating. You might not be interested in these people traveling to the Arctic, but I guarantee you there's something in there that's going to like hit you in the heart and you're never going to forget. It's a great underutilized resource for being interesting.
I believe the world would definitely be a better place if everybody would read National Geographic. I said
amazing.
that a long time ago on my Facebook.
Oh, you did? That's so funny. We have a lot in common.
I found you from your hair. I'm like, oh, I like this hair. So,
And that's actually another important part about unblawing yourself. So many women are afraid to experiment with their hair because of societal expectations, because of others' viewpoints, because of what their mother told them, because of what their best friend will say, because of what their husband told them to do or not do. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment with your hair. It grows back. It takes a while, but there's a lot of self-discovery in that process. Even if you cut your hair and you hate it, then you actually have to be interesting.
that's a good self-trap. Purposely cut your hair that you cannot hide behind your long locks. This is why people do all these extensions.
Hmm.
Because I'm
Hmm.
not, my hair is blah, so let me do this. And then that hides anything you could be to not be blah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly why I cut my hair this short. People think that I don't know that my best look would be hair down here. I know, it's been there. I looked pretty, and that's all it was. It was just a pretty look, and it was, to me, very bland. But if I just go in there and I just keep chopping it, which is what I do, I chop this myself all the time. When a piece sticks out, I go in and I'm like, oh, that piece is sticking out. And I get people on my YouTube channel saying, I do not like your short haircut. But I have to say that you should not be afraid of short hair. I find that if men don't like you with short hair, those are the wrong men anyhow. And when you have short hair, more women will talk to you because they've always wanted to do it, but they've been afraid. You'll make friends and it will force you out of your comfort zone. I think it's worth a try.
And you will realize what you are made of. Because I had
Exactly.
long hair for a long time. And when I chopped it, so many men came and said to me, my friends, like, I liked your hair before better.
Hmm.
And I realized, oh, I have a little bit of, I need to please them, kind of like,
Right.
then I was like, wow, is this what I am made of? I am made
Your
of
only
trying
hair.
to please people instead of
Hmm.
enjoying. This is so much easier to style. I feel sassy, I feel sexy. It's like, wow. Then you understand I'm made of people's comments instead of my
Hmm.
truth.
Hmm.
And now
Hmm.
I've been having this for over a year, and people just, okay, there is nothing I can tell her. She'll do what she wants to do. And this is how you reclaim your freedom.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't always have to come through a haircut. But once you realize that I am existing for the gaze of others, and this is not how I want to live my life, I
Wow.
need to exist for my own view.
Yeah.
Then you can start making choices that suit you better.
Wow. That's very,
It's very difficult, though.
I'm existing for the gaze of others. Wow. No wonder we feel empty and objectified and blah if we are offering ourselves to the gaze of others only.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing realization if you can ever get to it. You know, when you realize that you haven't been having the cute short haircut because of what your friends are going to say, or I feel like you can't even tell people about the moves you're going to make that are specifically for you because they'll go, "No," because they want you to exist in the way that they know you, and if you don't exist in that way that they know you, then you're messing with them, you know?
Stay okay, so your YouTube channel blew up when you made French girl videos. How to Americanize, franchise yourself American way. Tell us about that.
Yeah. And I mean, blew up for me, right? Like it's not like 200,000 subscribers, it's
Yeah.
20 some. And to me, that's huge. That's huge. That I could speak to 20,000 people is amazing. I'm totally impressed with myself. But yeah, what did it was that I kind of started talking more about French girl style, which is kind of a heated topic because there are French women who will show up and say, "You're exactly right." And then there's French women who will show up and say, "You're absolutely wrong." So who knows? Um, but what I really do like about French girl style is this ability to appear effortlessly, naturally beautiful. Because I often feel that in America, we are going way overboard with everything.
Mhm.
And there's nothing natural or effortless about it. It's all about effort. And I like effort. I like effort. But I do not care for perfection. And actually, most people, when you get down to it and you do scientific studies, most people do not prefer perfection. Like people, if you get down to it and you read all these studies, people actually appreciate imperfections because it helps that person stand out in their eyes. They're different, they're recognizable. And too many Americans are focused on this idea of perfecting everything all the time, that they're erasing everything that is recognizable about them. They're erasing their uniqueness. That's actually what blew up my channel, was a video on that. I don't know what happened. I was just trying to create a very short video, like, what happened? Why do all these celebrities look the same? I don't know. Threw it up on the internet and look at my phone, and there's like over 200,000 views on it. I was like, what happened? What is my life? Like, I don't even know what just happened. And all sorts of people came in talking all sorts of stuff. But it obviously resonated with people. It really resonated with people. What is happening today is this obsessive fixation on perfection, and it's not creating good things. In fact, it's erasing a lot of the good things.
And I work in a love and dating and relationship world, and I heard so many stories of clients, beautiful women who had men to tell them, you're not trying too hard enough, because you don't have fake eyelashes and you don't have lips filled and you don't have boobs up to here. And she's like, but this is who I am. Yeah, you're pretty, but you're not trying hard enough. If you put more effort, you would look better.
Oh, when people tell
Right?
you how you will look better, like,
Without you asking them.
I didn't ask for that. Now, I got to say, if your friend does say, I need your honest opinion, is this haircut working on me? You can give the honest opinion. But if your friend just got her hair cut and she's like, I got my hair cut, it is not your job to come in there and say, well, I know how you look best, and it's not that. That's not nice. It's not kind.
It's just if I tell you, oh, I just ate a big lamb chop. Well, you should be vegetarian.
Except the lamb chop doesn't take like 6 months to a year to grow out.
But yeah,
You know?
yeah, constantly asking for other people's opinion will blah you. Right?
And you know, one of my favorite quotes, and I can't quite remember if it's Diana Vreeland or not. She's actually one of my favorite quote machines. She was like the editor of Harper's Bazaar in like the 70s, or I probably got all of that information wrong. But Diana Vreeland was an amazing quote machine. And I do think she was the one that said, you don't owe the world a pretty face. And when I read that quote, I was like, huh, I never thought about that. My whole life was like, what is the very best face that I can serve this world? You know, I was a model when I was young, so of course I was really I was fixated on that. And when I realized that I don't have to look pretty for anyone, it was a real game changer.
Wow.
You know, so if I make myself look pretty, it's honestly for me, because I don't owe it to the world.
Yeah. You have this video in which you take a regular dress, simple leopard print dress, and you style it in so many ways. And none of these ways was blah. Right?
That's because I like weird styles. I do. I don't always dress weird, but I kind of like to make weird combinations that look like normal people could wear them.
Exactly. So this was invitation. You are pretty much inviting somebody to start thinking, how can I not be blah? But do you think, in your experience, is it really possible for somebody who has been, you know, has a 20-year-old children and has been in sweats and t-shirts, all yoga pants and Uggs for so many years now, and they don't even know. They look at a beautiful dress and like, oh, it's nice, but I don't know. I don't have body for it. I don't know where to go with that. I would look awkward in it. Where do people start when it comes to physical clothing to kind of slowly unblah themselves?
Well, that's a good question. And I think that it's not about stepping way outside of your comfort zone. It's not about some sort of, do you remember those makeovers like on talk shows in the 80s where they would like, I don't know, they'd bring out somebody who looked like kind of like a hag, and then they would cut their hair into like a corporate look, and then everybody would go, yay! And you don't need that to unblah yourself. You just need to start doing something different. And that might be wearing a vest over your tank top, or getting into silk scarves because that can change a lot,
You
or
like that
starting wearing better and more consistent jewelry, or
more consistent jewelry.
when I say consistent, I mean like some people are like, oh, I never put on jewelry, or I just put on, like sometimes I forget. Like jewelry every day, like I think that's actually the number one thing you could do before you could even think about changing your makeup or wearing makeup. Like it's part of my makeup videos where I think you should put on your jewelry before you put on your makeup because it helps you put on less makeup. You could put on a full face of makeup, and if you're not wearing your jewelry, you're still not going to look finished. So you kind of go overboard. The jewelry helps it look finished when it's finished rather than I have to keep working. I don't know what's missing. It's your jewelry. Your jewelry's missing.
Nice. True. And I sleep. I sleep with this. This is my forever. I never take it off. And I somehow always feel, even at the gym, I feel styled. You're right.
I love when women get ready for the gym. And some people might say, why? Like, why would you try to look nice at the gym? Because you look at yourself in the mirror when you're working out and you want to like feel like you look like how you feel.
So what's a gym, unblood gym attire presentation?
Well, my role model is this 83-year-old woman named Matilda. Now, I don't go full Matilda when I go to the gym. Matilda wears jewelry. She's got a little angel pin on her tank top, and she has her hair done, and she has her eyebrows on. She looks good. And she's always wearing like a matching pink outfit. Like she looks amazing. She's always there. I
And
love
I can
Matilda.
find her under Matilda, Fitness Matilda, or what do I write?
No, no, she's just a woman at the gym. She's just a regular lady at the gym.
Oh, she's all over YouTube.
Well, I put her twice in my videos. She's that great. But I use her as my role model. I'm like, wow, she looks so cool with her jewelry. So I wore these to the gym today. Let's see if I can zoom in. So I'm just wearing like these little tiny huggies,
Oh,
right?
tiny. Yes. Yeah.
And those are enough to make me feel polished at the gym. So I never go to the gym without like a little gold huggy and eyebrow replaced because this eyebrow doesn't exist. I draw it on every day. So when I go to the gym, I need my eyebrow on and I need my little gold earrings. My outfit doesn't usually match, but those things really help me. Oh, and tinted lip balm, like a little Burt's Bees
Yes.
lip
Yeah.
balm.
Just
And that's enough. But that jewelry really helps. When I forget the huggies, I don't feel right.
That's so beautiful to know what works for you, because so many women go to this extreme. Like we spoke before, they wear the duck shoes and utensils hanging down and the peacock feathers out of there, and it doesn't look polished or elegant, or it just doesn't even look eccentric. Like remember the late, what was her name? Apfel, Iris Apfel.
Iris Apfel, yeah.
She was wild, but she was refined.
Yeah. And I think that's what people really liked about her. Now, even though I love when older ladies express themselves in all sorts of wild ways, I am always quite aware that a lot of these women have the luxury to do so because they have money.
Mhm.
And someone like Iris Apfel, who is decorated in all these gorgeous, heavy stones, these jewels, oh, like so luxurious. I'm well aware that that's out of the budget for so many women.
Thank you.
So, yes, she looked refined, and a lot of that came from she had very good, expensive, good quality things. But I also do like when people just take it to some sort of wild extreme because I like effort. I like when people put effort into their look. Some people are more successful at making it look refined and elegant than others, but I do like the effort.
Mm.
And I do like a little bit of elegance and refinement, and that's why I like the French girl style because they got it locked down, and I feel like the whole like less makeup, messy hair, but really nice clothes thing, it looks great. It looks great on everyone. So I spent a long time just kind of picking out like what are these style principles that they are using to get this look?
Mhm.
Because I don't ever want to tell people you got to buy these pants at Zara. You got to get this dress at whatever. And, like this exact thing, buy this kimono. I just want to tell people, like, this is how you would do it with this item. I hope that I've inspired you to go get your own kind of item and try it out in this way. But I don't ever want to like tell people, you style this kind of shirt with these kind of pants. It's just a style principle. And that helps everybody. There's nothing about French girl style that that certain people can't do, except one thing. And this is kind of a touchy subject, but I stand by it. So French girl style is not about pushing your boobs up big and high for as a present to everyone. It's too obvious.
Yeah.
It's too I don't know what the word is. It's just too much, So they go with a more natural profile in their undergarments. It looks more natural. There's less padding. There's more bralettes. And the reason this is a touchy subject is because some women are like, I'm way too big for that. And that's not true. You can still get an unlined or lightly lined bra that does not put them up here on display. So that was a lot of information. I just blah, 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 blah.
And blah, and blah, and blah, blah. This really is, when I work with clients who tell me, oh, they just want me for sex. I often say, how do you look?
Yeah, what are you putting
look like
out there?
Sex. Short mini skirts, boobs up to here, heavy duty eyelashes and long fake nails. It just looks like you don't know how to have conversations, but you do know how to have sex.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like, that's a touchy subject as well, because
It's very
people might
touchy.
say,
And these things now people will say blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, I mean, I don't want to tell
conversation.
people that, don't dress sexy, but at the same time, and I do have a video on this where it's kind of called Boss Up Your Life. It's like, if you want to be taken seriously, like in a work situation or such, you can take these steps, because you will not be taken seriously if you do this other thing. And a lot of people don't want to hear that because they want to do this other thing because that's how they feel pretty.
Yeah.
It is a touchy subject, but I do
And it
find
is a personal preference. Absolutely. Dolly Parton.
yeah.
Like, put Dolly Parton in your clothes, she would look not like Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Put you in her clothes, you would look like a clown.
Everybody has to make their own individual decisions, but I can tell you that if you cover up more, and I am a big fan of dressing modestly, a lot of my styles are layer upon layer of clothing. I feel more comfortable, more dressed up. I'm a huge fan of turtlenecks. People's attention goes from here to up here. And people hate when I say that too, because they're like, well, I have nice ones. And it's like, well, then go ahead, do what you want. But when the attention's up here, it's on what you say and on what you do. And if you go to the party in a turtleneck dress, suppose, and your hair is not long and flowing, suppose you just chopped it off in the kitchen like I do, and you tell a story about this 15th century shipwreck in Sweden, that you just read about, someone's going to remember you. And it's going to be much more interesting than you presenting yourself like a sexy package and just letting the conversation happen. If you can make yourself intentionally interesting in ways other than putting yourself sexually forward, it makes you a much more interesting person. I hesitate to say these things because there's all sorts of people that would not like that.
What would be their reason why they don't like that?
You shouldn't tell people how to present themselves. And if people want to push up the girls and present them on a platter for people, then they should do that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I actually agree.
Of course, me too.
But
and
for
there
people,
is a time for that too. If
yeah,
you're
there
really
really is.
hunting for sex, you're not going to library, you're going to the bar. You're not dressing corporate, you're dressing whatever, but then you have
if
the consequences you get after
right. I
You
mean,
know,
if you're going on a date, yeah, sure. But, you're going to get all sorts of attention wherever you go if you're going to dress like that. And it's not going to be the kind of attention where people want to strike up a fascinating conversation with you. It's just not.
yeah. But definitely a little bit of unblying makes a huge difference with the effort part. I remember every time when I have like really everything is perfect in a messy
Hmm.
way, right? If I go to the store or a regular place, I get treated much better.
Hmm. Hmm.
People always treat me well, but I notice extra. It's almost like it's encouraging everyone to be in their best verbal behavior, to be in their
Hmm.
best open the door behavior. So one woman, and this is my whole book is about that, how when you are in your tigress time and you don't know if you should stay in your marriage or go, either path, the first step is self-care.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
you value yourself and you show that, so you inspire the best of others. If you repair it, you have better relationship, and if you don't repair it, you have better goodbye, a little classier.
Yeah, and I love what you said earlier, where you said when people put in effort, it shows that they care
Mhm.
about themselves and about things. And when they are not appearing as if they care about themselves, it appears that they don't care about anything. So, why would you want to talk to a person that doesn't care about anything? When you see that someone is putting in effort and they care, they probably have something interesting to say because they care about things and you want to talk to them more.
Yeah,
It's important to put your style forward.
your YouTube channel shows I matter to myself. It
Hmm.
shows I matter, and you never said that as far as I saw,
No.
but you show it, you speak it with the way you present yourself. And when a woman is just cleaning after kids and has all the stains from all the cereal and God knows what,
Hmm.
and it's just like, that's okay. I'm just a mom. I'm just a mom. Mom is a privileged job. I wish I
Yeah.
could do that job. I never was able to. That's privilege because you're teaching future generation that they matter and that you matter, that we actually care. In our family, we care.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean,
I,
I was lucky enough to be able to do the mom thing, and he's well far grown. He's an adult. But I also taught children for many years, and I really felt like that was my biggest impact. I was a music teacher, and yes, I was teaching piano, but the most important thing I was teaching kids is how to try for things, how to accomplish things, delay gratification, be proud of yourself, share with others. Those were the most important principles. I don't even care if they could play for Elise. Like, if they learned the other things, I was happy. If I was creating better humans, I was happy.
yeah, you were unblind humans.
Yeah, I really did feel like that. I feel like that's been my biggest impact is raising other people's kids. And then the second biggest impact was helping their moms through their blah phase.
Wow, this is so beautiful. So beautiful. Do you have a story that you want to share about somebody who you unblood, somebody who
Mm.
was happy with their transformation?
I get comments all the time where I'm like, well, that makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole lot of work that goes into this, as you know, a
Mhm.
whole lot of work. And sometimes it's not rewarding. But sometimes in the comments, that's where the reward comes, where someone says, I followed your advice and I have changed my life. I am now, this is a term that I made up. I am now a queen baddie, and that a queen baddie. Let me just spell baddie, Baddie, because it sounds like I'm saying Batty.
That.
A queen baddie. I'm now 65. I'm living my best life. I dress up to go to the grocery store. I'm having a great time. I joined an art class. Those sorts of comments are just like, okay, I did my job.
Nice. So nice. And when
It's
you
the
know there are
best.
many people unblind themselves because of you.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised like people reach out and say, "Can I see the back of your hair? Because I want to tell my hairdresser to cut my hair like that." And I'm like, "Don't, don't copy this. Don't copy this. I did this. Don't copy it." It's not a professional idea.
But it's so inspiring. I believe because you own yourself, you are not blah, even though you look simple. Simple black shirt,
Sim
simple earrings. You don't have hanging forks from your earrings. Or weird thing.
That's, oh my goodness. Yeah, I know what you mean. And those people, they make me laugh in a wonderful, joyous way that, makes you love life. People who would wear forks as earrings. That's funny to me. I love stuff like that, but I wouldn't do it myself.
Yeah.
Because
So
I
do you
still
know Patch
enjoy being,
Adams? Patch Adams himself, the original Patch Adams, he wears one funny fork.
oh, that maybe that's where you got
But no, I got this from
funny.
somebody else. But on Patch, it works. On somebody else, he had a one fork, this other guy, the real fork, and had a cooking utensils, like a wooden spoon.
Most people can't pull that off, right? Most
This
people
one
can't.
didn't. Patch
So
Adams can. This guy.
so that's why I don't say, "Hey, get as wild as you can." Like I'm trying to give people like real world advice, how to like look refined but still have something interesting about yourself so that you're more engaged in the world because people will come up and say, "Hey, I like that furry vest you're wearing." As an example. Somebody's going to come up and say that. And you can say, "Oh, well, I got it at the thrift store." And then say, "I love thrifting." And they say, "I've been doing it for 20." And if you got this whole conversation going that
Mhm.
you didn't have before, it makes you more active in this world and less invisible, which is something that women always say, not always, a lot of women say that they feel invisible after a certain age, 35 or 40.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in
And
LA where you are, the age can be even the moment you start showing first wrinkles and there is a younger woman next to you.
yeah, and that happens so fast here. If you are focusing on looking your youngest, you are gonna lose that battle and it's not gonna be pretty.
Mhm.
But if you focus on feeling your best and on your friendships and on your kindness and generosity, you're gonna have a much better time.
Yeah. So I work from home. I'm always at home. Why would I dress up at home?
Well, and
I'm
you still have to
practical.
go out to the store, right? Like you still have to go to the post office.
Not every day, but it's just a short errand. I sleep on my
Okay.
eyes and I go.
Actually, several women have showed up in my comments to say, like, I raise cows. I live in Wisconsin, but I have decided that the one time a week that I go to town, I'm going to get dressed up. And they said that it's made a huge difference in their life, and they look forward to going to town now so they can talk about anything like what they're wearing or, what another person's wearing. And just like it just sparks conversation. And a lot of women have come to say, like, "Oh yeah, I just spend the day with my chickens, but I still wear my bold earrings because they make me happy."
Nice. So nice. I always suggest to my ladies who work from home to, if you're really working on a computer from home, one day a week, dress up fully and work out from a lobby of the fancy hotel.
Mm-hmm.
To give yourself that feeling like I belong here too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
belong into this world is a friendly place. I'm welcomed. Especially if
That,
you're gonna
yes.
not repair your relationship but release it, you need to feel comfortable where you are meeting people, having people saying hello to you, and feeling like, yeah, my life is my friend.
It's so hard to feel that way sometimes that the world is a friendly place. If you don't believe that, it's such a hard shift to make, especially when the world offers you so many contrary ideas. Especially if you're watching the news a lot, you might not feel the world is a friendly and good place. Now, we were just talking before this that the world is not a fair place. That's true. It's not fair. But
Nothing is.
there's a whole lot of good. There's a whole lot of good to be gotten. And you might not believe that if you are watching the wrong media.
Thank you. Thank you. And even when I was in Croatia, it was war when I was growing up. And I said to my mom, every time I watch this news, I'm more and more scared.
Mhm.
She said, don't watch news. And I didn't for one day.
Mhm.
It's really like something is missing because there were news when it's war. The news are like during pandemic all the time, all the time. And
Mhm.
I just didn't. And I played and I write in my journal and I read a book and I clean up my room. They was full of me.
Mhm.
And then I said to my mom, it's better not to watch. And then war came to me anyway, but at
Yeah.
least I was not scared as much. I was not scared the whole time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Once the war
And
came, we had to figure out, go to shelter, go to refugee camp, figure out what to do. But the process, I still had a life.
mhm. Mhm.
Beautiful to me that in a refugee camp, everybody was crying about everything. And I was like, my life prior to that was actually very rich.
Mm. Perspective can change everything,
Yes.
right? And I love your example of you decided not to worry about something that may or may not happen. It happened anyhow.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people spend their time worrying about things that may or may not happen and they don't happen. And they worry their life away. And for you, it actually did happen, but you're happy that you spent that small amount of time before it happened not
Paranoia.
spending your
In
day worrying.
Yeah. I think when you give paranoia to take over you, that's when you
Hmm.
completely cannot unblind yourself. I think you become paralyzed. It's a
Hmm.
very
Yeah.
diminishing state of existence. And the feminine energy and the creativity cannot come out of that. There's more
Mm-hmm.
paranoia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel like we could talk a whole other half an hour. I don't even know how long we've been doing this because it's like time is flying. We could talk a whole other episode about feminine energy because it's
Okay.
so important because so many of us women have slipped into masculine mode without knowing it.
Yes. Yes. And we are encouraged to do that. Come on, girl, you can do it.
Yep.
Come on, fight,
You can do
fight.
everything. You can do
Everything.
everything. You can have it all and do everything. It's just a lie. It's a
Yeah.
lie.
And then you lose all your cortisol, destroys all your hormones, then you get all the weight, and then you blame it on
Mhm.
yourself. Let's have another episode.
I know. I
Feminine
know.
energy.
Absolutely. I'm down.
Oh, Diana, thank you so much for this. Please tell us where can women find you and which video you recommend. I want to put one of the videos
Mm.
in the
Okay.
description.
Well, I mean, YouTube is what I focus on, but I'm also on Instagram and regrettably TikTok. And I say that because of the comments. Like you get a different level of comments there. And that's under Unblah Yourself. And I would say that the French girl style video is my most indicative of like what I would talk about, like with style.
Yeah.
But I feel like the most important video that I've put out lately was the one about like what happened, why is everyone aiming for the same face, how to embrace your individuality is probably the more important video to watch.
Nice. Thank you so much, my dear. Talk soon.
Oh, it was wonderful. Thank you for having me on.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.